Hi, it's January 1st here in New Zealand, 2017. So I've been asked a few times to talk through this new unified topology of fractal fields. So what we're doing here is we're probing Sub-planck phase space, which is where all the really juicy stuff is happening, like teleportation and dematerialization. So we had to meticulously go through this over a number of years because we have to bring it online and merge it with the current latest research into quantum physics and quantum mechanics, which is basically golden ratio. So it has to be golden ratio coherent. And there you see a list of the others that have sort of added pieces to this jigsaw puzzle, and the reason behind it is, as you can see there, we're trying to model post-biological existence or plasma membranes, plasma containments, and we have a pretty good idea now that this is how the more advanced cultures are doing it. And so we're not really talking about the counter-rotating fields of UFOs, for example, which is sort of the beginning stages of where humanity is going to head in the next few years. We're talking about a little bit more advanced level of this, which is in ancient cultures, the Tibetan Buddhist rainbow body, the diamond body, the Vajra chakra, etc. So we've tried to keep it in line with latest discoveries in hyperspace maths and so forth. So there you see that our modelling in 3D fits exactly as an analogue to the 8D Gosset polytope, and also the 4D 120 cell, 600 cell. We can see that the geometry that we're using, the golden rhombus, rhombic trichondahedron, and what's going on inside the rhombic trichondahedron, which has a vast amount of sort of subunits. And those subunits are all broken down into fundamental prime volumes based on golden ratio tetrahedra. And here we can see how those basic golden ratio tetrahedra build up and create the rhombic hexachondahedron, which is the hub for 12 trichonters, and then inside the trichondahedron we have other smaller trichonters. This is an infinite fractal of smaller and larger trichonta, perfect for the most economic way of packing fields or packing plasmic containments or plasmic entities, we'll call them that. The rhombic trichondahedron, its polar shape there, you can see it is the icosahedron, which is the kind of transverse wave that springs out from the rhombic trichonta. And there you can see a number of smaller trichonters there nesting inside that icosahedral wave. We had to make the trichonta fit with the dodecahedron's scaffolding implosion. There you can see some spins, auric field spins, and here we can see how eventually you can use this as an auric field, and you can sort of pop around it and activate it by doing all sorts of gymnastics inside the field that you have built up around you. And in a nutshell, we've had to prove that the pinecone-shaped implosion of the golden ratio spiral was inside the trichonta. So we had to map that by the way the inner golden ratio tetras pack inside the trichonta membrane. And there you can see that these units are small golden tetras. These were discovered by David Koski. He calls them the UVW, and then there was the earlier one, Buckminster Fuller's E-quantum module. And there it is, the breakdown of the units and how each one of them will pack inside, forming an infinite self-recurring similar nesting of the same basic 3 and sometimes 4 golden ratio tetrahedra. So this is absolute proof that in sub-Planck phase space, where phase space means everywhere the same, these infinitely recurring golden ratio tetrahedra, the wavelengths and the edge lengths and the volumes, recur in golden ratio. There's the fundamental one there, and you can see it there down in the left lower corner, how that nests inside as a unit of the tricontahedron. More visuals there of models that I've made to show how these nest, forming the rhombic acute rhombohedra there, and it's that rhombohedra that packs to form a lot of the structures that we're looking at. Here's the view inside the triconta membrane, various subunits in there, and here's some of the angles of the triconta, the 144 dihedral angle, and of course the equator is 144 degrees as well. And when we look at the theories and the philosophy, we come across numbers which suit the number of triconta as a Sol group. And here's the beginning of the fractality inside the triconta, the way that the internal fundamental prime golden tetras nest. You see there that they form just the exact shape of what Dan Winter now calls 2 pine cones kissing. And there they go. This creates the implosion to the center where they meet and generate a longitudinal wave. And we can show that as well, the longitudinal wave based on these same golden tetra. There's the outside of the cone, showing that curves, the spiral there curves around the outside of the pine cone as it does, and then around the circumference down to the tip of the pine cone at the center of the triconta, and then can go up through the center again. And there's 2 of them showing exactly what Dan Winter is talking about there. And we see this as the combination of Dan Winter's work and Nissan Harriman's double torus. This basically saying the same thing. We've quantized those toroids and built it into a geometric framework, which we feel is important to be able to get our head around the modelling of plasma fields. And there's the same golden tetras and the golden rhomboids forming a helix along the centre there. So this is generating the longitudinal wave. We could separate those 2 cones any distance, and the longitudinal wave would connect them up. Here's another way of building with the prime UVW tetras. You can pack them there and form a golden ratio spiral, another great discovery by David Koski. And of course the spiral, as it's curving out there, meets the nodes of the stellating icosidodeca, the star mother kit of theosophy. And there also shows the hexacontahedron, the blue one there at the heart of the packing of triconta, how that fits and nests as well with the golden spiral, tetrahedral spiral there. And we can see there how the different dimensions which are mentioned fit the nest of the golden rhomboids. There's the Penrose tiling, and you've got your 60 5D cubes and so forth. And here's the breakdown of how the embedding goes with the white hexacontahedron hub and then the light blue triconta and then the hexi inside that. Here it is as a radiating source, a hub for a cluster of motherships or a cluster of lightships. And this shows how that expands out and could become larger and larger, those hexaconters. Here's the breakdown of two of those golden rhomboids within the hexacontahedron, built up with the smaller subprime units, the golden tetras. A little bit more intricate view of that, how it connects to the stellating icosahedrodeca. This is, as we've got there, this is thought form engineering. So we're thinking of this as a visual thought form construction that's manifested by complex or exact generating visualizations, and they're activated by the spin and the oscillations and the I call it gymnastics. So you build the field around you, basic field, and then you're spinning the equators on 6 axes as you would with the triconta, and then you can rotate the fields, you can gyroscope them, you can spring around inside them like it's a jungle gym. And as you're building this field around you from the inside out, it's like interior decorating. You like painting a wall. So you're actually building it from the inside out, and you're creating it around you. The more time and effort you put into it to make it exact and so forth, then the better it's going to the more solid it's becoming. Here's the rhombic hexes creating the longitudinal wave. So this is what happens once you've generated your field and you've put your attention to a distant place, then away you go. The alphabet of the ARK. Hope you enjoyed it.